What's up, you guys? I'm Simone, aka Money Mo here, and we are live. And I got the shirt this time. We back. I got the outfit on. We are live. And it's been a minute since I seen you guys, and I got to catch y'all up. So let's get into it. Let's start with Unrivaled, okay? Unrivaled, okay? Taking over the weekends. The best 3-on-3 basketball league ever for the players, by the players. You can catch games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And they got it everywhere. If you don't have if you have cable, True TV, TNT. If you do not have cable, you can have streaming services, HBO Max. Okay? So there's no excuse. Let's tap in and support our ladies because it's some great basketball. And before we get into games for the week, I feel like because every team already played each other a little bit, so now it's just like them playing each other again. Um, we're just waiting on the records right now. But before we get into the records, I just want to put this out there right now. I just want to put this out there, and I think Flicks will agree with me. Chelsea Gray is on a MVP run because I know right now she has over 500 points and she's leading the league in assists. I think Chelsea Gray will
Yeah,
be Unrivaled MVP.
she's on the heater. Definitely on the
On a
heater.
heater. On a heater. And I feel like ever since they found out Nafisha Collier isn't playing this season, I feel like that MVP talk was up for the taking. I feel like that's what I think. But I'm going to look at this record. I feel like the records are pretty interesting because the last time I saw you guys, the Rose were undefeated. The Lunar Owls and Hive had no wins. And since I last seen y'all, now Lunar Owls got a dub, Hive got a dub, and the Rose is in the L column. But don't get it twisted. They still at the top. So if we look at the record, we got the Laces at 6-1, Mist 5-2, Rose 4-3, Breeze 4-3, Phantom 4-3, the Vinyl 2-5, and the Lunar Owls 1-6, and the Hive 2-5. Okay, so I think right now these teams are just going to keep playing each other because it's kind of like to the point where everybody kind of knows their game. And I think the key now is for teams to hit that top six. They're going to do everything they can to find the perfect combinations, find the best sets that work for them and the best combination really, because you're really playing for 3 quarters. And when that third quarter comes, you kind of want to crank it up. You kind of want to have momentum because if you go into the third quarter and you're leading the entire way, when that fourth quarter starts, you have a better advantage of winning the game because the winning score in the fourth quarter is whoever's up in the third plus 11 points. Okay. So that's very exciting to see. And I think right now, like I said, we said it, Chelsea Gray is on a MVP run. 29 points a game. Mayberry's behind her with 25. Alicia Gray with 24.3. And then Chelsea Gray's also leading in assists. I wouldn't be surprised if she's leading in rebounds. But like I said, she's on an MVP run. Mark my words, she's winning that. She's winning that. But I'm really excited about the one-on-one tournament that's going to be happening in a couple weeks as well. I feel like I got to give y'all a full breakdown on that once we see the bracket. Okay. Flicks, for the games on Friday, which game do you want me to talk about?
I
I
mean,
feel like
first of all, I just got to remind everybody that the Aces just run the WNBA. So
okay,
everybody
you're
should be
missing. We're
reminded
talking.
that
We're unrivaled. We're on unrivaled right now.
every time you see Chelsea Gray, just think about Vegas.
We are talking about unrivaled right now. We don't have no loyalty to no cities. We are loyal to the clubs. So you're a rose. So it's official to say you're a rosebud.
Yes, so we got the Rose at the Lunar Owls on Friday. It's going to be our final game of the night. What you think about that, Simone?
Um, don't let the Lunar Owls record fool you. I think it's still going to be a really good game. Um, it feels good to see Skylar Diggins back. Marina Mayberry's been hooping. Aaliyah Edwards has been hooping. So I think in order for this team to make it in the top six, those three have to have big games consistent big games. Meaning like Skylar Diggins should be having a double every game. Aaliyah Edwards, the same thing. And I think for Marina Mayberry, I just want to see I think I want to see a better shot selection from her because it's like we all know she could pull. She could pull it. But I think sometimes I feel like in the 3-on-3 games, sometimes when you take that long shot and it ends up as a long rebound, there's a high chance with the talent on the floor that is going to be a fast break point and it's going to be a 2 on the other end, which is a 5-point turnaround, right? So I think I would just like a better shot selection from her. But I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I feel like the Rose, they're always going to give you a good game because that team is stacked. My girl Kalia Copper is back. That's one of my favorite players, and she's hooping. Azrae Stevens hooping. Shakira Austin hooping. Lexi Hall hooping. I love that team. They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. I think that's going to be a really good matchup. And of course, Chelsea Gray, the point guard. I think that game could go either way because even like I said, don't let the Lunar Owls record fool you. They just got Skylar Diggins back. She just got to get the hang of it. I feel like she had a couple games under her belt, and I think now it's like they're looking to win, and they're going to look for those right combinations so they can add more W's to that win column. That's what I think.
Yeah, you got a couple of girls that are trending up. Got Kalia Coppers coming off a championship, right? Wasn't she involved in that?
Yeah, because she was a part of the Rose Basketball Club, yes, and you know,
That means something.
you
And
know,
then you got
I feel
Skylar
like her and
Diggins.
Chelsea Gray play well together.
And then
They play
Skylar
really
Diggins
well
on the other
together
side. Skylar Diggins actually she's leading the league with like almost 2 blocks a game.
because one thing Skylar Diggins is gonna do, she's gonna play some defense. If that shot not falling, she's gonna play some defense. And I feel like people be getting Big Mama confused. Like she 5'9" and she lock up. Left-handed sniper. Left-handed sniper for
It, mean,
real.
it means something.
Oh,
Um,
dude. But she plays well with her other Notre Dame counterpart, Marina Mayberry. I think they play really well together, and I think they need to find a better combination because if you have one killing in the perimeter, you get a lot of driving kicks, and then even with Aaliyah Edwards out there, Aaliyah Edwards can stretch the floor too, and she's also been very good with being aggressive, going to the basket and getting boards. Because the one thing I like about Aaliyah Edwards right now is she's building up her game, and I feel like she surprised a lot of people last season from the one-on-one tournament. But I was surprised a little bit just because of where she was in the bracket, but I'm not surprised that she made it that far because she is that skilled and she is that versatile. And I feel like with her being on the Lunar Owls, it kind of displays that more because you don't have Nafisha Collier to play off of. You got to kind of be that primary big that Nafisha Collier was supposed to be for the Lunar Owls, you know? So she's playing a bigger role and she's filling those shoes well. And she's leading the league with 13 rebounds per game. You never know. What we got for Saturday's game?
Pretty good stuff. We got 2 games on Saturday. The first game, we have the Hive versus the Mist.
Okay.
It'll be on True TV. What you think about that?
I like the Hive. Like I said, I don't. I'm not letting these records fool me. I love the Kelsey Mitchell and Sonia Citron combo. I love that combo because those are both walking buckets. And with Kelsey Mitchell, you're going to get speed. You're going to get speed. You're going to get finesse, and you could get the jumper too. I love it. And she a lefty, left-handed assassin too. I know it's something about the lefties. It's something about the lefties. But I like her with Sonia Citron because Sonia Citron kind of plays well off of her too. And I think with dynamic scores like that, especially dynamic scores that play well off each other, they're very dangerous. And with Kelsey Mitchell averaging 15 a game and Sonia Citron averaging 14 a game, you could tell the ball's in their hands 85% of the time. And the offense runs off of them. And like if you've seen a couple of sets, like that coach really finds ways to get those two going. But I feel like there needs to be 2 other people that needs to kind of step it up just a tad bit for me. And I'm saying just step it up just a little bit because of the talent. Even though the numbers are there, they just got to step it up just like a pinch more, like a grain of salt more. And that's Monique Billings. Right now, she's averaging 13 points a game, 9 rebounds. I feel like she just got to crank it up a little more for me, be a little more aggressive on those rebounds. And then I want Sanaya Rivers to pick it up a little bit too, especially on defense. I think she's one of those players where her defense creates offense. And I think if she's more focused on locking down that score on the other side, instead of like putting points on the board per se, I think the Hive will have a better chance of winning more games. And there's one other team, the team that they're playing against, the Miss. They have great players up there. Brianna Stewart, Alicia Gray, Arika Gumawale, Lee. Like, they have great players, and they have Veronica Burton. They have great players over there that could play defense, that could score well too. So I think the Hive need to turn more defense into offense, because I think in this league, if you try to go bucket for bucket with some of these teams, you're going to end up losing, because it's just so much talent. Sometimes a lot of game plans just need to be cutting the head off the snake, or even just containing the beast. And that's okay. That's okay. I think some game plans just need to be containing a certain player, like showing them doubles, doubling hard off a screen, because in 3-on-3, you get a lot of dribble handoff action, you get a lot of pick and roll action, you get a lot of horns action. Like, I'll be trying to make somebody else score or somebody else beat me if I was a coach or if I was on the coaching staff. But that's going to be a really good game too. What we got for Sunday? I'm sorry.
So the other game on Saturday is the Laces and the Vinyl. That's gonna be a good game. But
That's
then,
going to be a really good game.
but getting to Sunday, we got the Phantom and the Lunar Owls.
Okay, I like that. I like that one. I like the new Phantom look, because remember last season, I was saying that the Phantom needed a point guard, and they did right by getting Kelsey Plum. They just needed a true point guard to complete them, and I think Kelsey Plum does that, because it takes a little bit off of Natasha Cloud. And like I said, that Cloud and Plum, they could play off each other well, because sometimes Cloud could facilitate, and Plum could set up a score, because Plum has shown that she could get to the bucket too. I think in her Unrivaled debut, she almost had a 40 ball. She could put it up in the basket, and she could also drop dimes too. I think she had a double with like points and assists at one point. So I think for that matchup, the Phantom just need to take advantage of the guard play first. Take advantage of the guard play. If Skylar Diggins isn't guarding Kelsey Plum, I would be taking advantage of it, because Kelsey Plum is she's shifty, really nice change of pace. I feel like Skylar Diggins kind of disrupts her a little bit. And if she's not being guarded by Skylar Diggins, I would be taking advantage of that 1000%. And I think the Phantom in that matchup will have the upper hand, because their post presence is there. They have Aaliyah Boston and Kiki Ephraim, and those two have been doing really good. And I like how Kiki's game is blossoming, and the confidence is just growing. Like, I feel like there's no limit for her. And I also like how Aaliyah Boston is kind of like pushing herself and challenging herself by being out on the perimeter a little more, being a little more aggressive. So I think in order for the Phantom to beat the Lunar Owls, they will have to take advantage of whoever Skylar Diggins isn't guarding. Because honestly, on the Lunar Owls, Skylar Diggins is the best defender. That's the best perimeter defender on the Owls. So whoever Skylar Diggins is guarding, that it need to be barbecue chicken. Go to work. Go to work. You got to eat. That's just my key for them to win that game. But I think the Lunar Owls on the other side, I think they just have to find ways to win, because they have enough talent. It's just putting the right pieces out there and finding a way to win. And a way for them to find a way to win is if Skylar Diggins double-double, Marina Mayberry a double-double, and Aaliyah Edwards double-double. Those three have to be consistent every single game here on out if they want to be in that top 6.
Makes a lot of sense. Rounding it out for the weekend, we got a team we've seen before, but we got the Vinyl and the Hive.
That's gonna be an interesting one because I feel like I said before, the Hive, don't let that record fool you. They're a very good team. They're very fast. They're very fast, and I feel like a lot of those people on the Hive, this is their first year. I think Natasha's the only one this is her second year, but I feel like once they get the hang and the pace of the game, they're going to stack W's. They're going to stack W's, and I think the Vinyl has to do a good job of containing those scores of Kelsey Mitchell and Sonia Citron. Like, I feel like if they contain them and they do their assignments, they'll be good. And there's one person on the Vinyl that's been surprising to me, by the way, and that's De'Erica Hamby. She had a 40 ball, I believe, week 2, hooping. But we all know Ryan Howard, she gonna get them buckets, hooping 20 points per game. De'Erica Hamby, 19.7 rebounds a game. They are hooping. They go, when those two go, the whole team goes. And I think they need to keep Courtney Williams going too, because right now she's averaging 12 a game. And it's just like knowing when to put her in the game because she is an energy spark. And I think for her is more like situation based because I remember the last time we talked about it. You know which game I'm talking about when the Vinyl played the Rose. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Love Courtney Williams down, but Ryan Howard should have had that ball to win the game. I don't care if she had all 3 people on her. You build the ball and you hand it to her, and she do dribble tween to tween, pull up, game. But did that happen? No. But it's okay. It's okay. It was early. They live and they learn. And I kind of want BG to get a little more involved because I don't like that 7 points per game, but it's only 6 games. I get it, but I want her to be involved a little more because she stretches the floor out. She stretches the floor out in so many ways from her just rim running. And I think once they get her involved, get her some more points, get her some more touches, then the rest of the game will open up for our guard play. So that's what I think. But really good games this weekend, you guys. You guys go check it out. Like I said, on cable, TNT, True TV, streaming, HBO Max. There's no excuse. No excuse, okay? So make sure y'all tap in with that. All right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely thought the Vinyl was going to be a little better. You got Brittany Griner. I'm not really sure about her. It's like year to year, you just got to wonder about her consistency, off-season, in-season, whatever. It's like her numbers aren't Shaq-like all the time. Like right now we're talking about 6 games, around 5 minutes a game, 7 points a game. That's not like maybe she's injured.
Maybe. I believe she is coming off an injury, but at the same time, I think the game of basketball is evolving in a way to where like if you're like I feel like if you're just like one of those true centers, you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to pivot. And I think now, like I've said before on the Triple M seasons, a lot of the players that are getting the accolades and that are thriving are those in between players, meaning those dynamic bigs that could do a little bit of everything, like the Breanna Stewarts, the Nafisha Colliers, the Asia Wilsons. Like they have size, but they could do whatever. They're like stretch players. That's what I like to call it, the stretch players. So that's why when I talk about like players like Kiki Eferin, Aaliyah Edwards, those players are going to have a chance because even though they have size and post presence, and also Shakira Austin as well, they could stretch because the game of basketball all around, I'm talking about from AAU, NBA, college, WNBA, the game is faster. If you notice, like they're playing faster, they're putting up more points, it's more possessions. So I think she just has to get in where she fits in. And I think the best way to do that with a talented player like Brittany Griner is play your game and make them adjust to you. That's what I think. But I feel like I need to watch it a little more and break it down so I can have a better breakdown. But I put in my letter to the HR team. I need my clipboard like Kenny Smith. I need the screen up there so I could sprint up there and I could tell the people. But that's enough for Unrivaled. We got to transition to that other organization because y'all, they are still sitting at the table trying to figure it out. And what are they trying to figure out? I'm confused. I'm confused. What part of pay the players they don't get? I don't know if the math is mathing for me, Flicks. I don't know. And then I was seeing some stuff when they were talking about for the CBA negotiations, they're trying to give the players 15%. They're trying to have them go from 9 to 15%. Let me see. I know I'm not a math major. I majored in psychology, but damn, I know the math. The math ain't mathing. I'm a psychology major, and I know the math not mathing. So you're telling me the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, their players could get 50% of the revenue they bring in, and my ladies, they're trying to get my ladies 15%. They want, because I know the players want 30, but in my opinion, I think 30 is realistic for now. I think it's realistic for now because of how fast the game is growing, and that 30% is going to be a huge difference. But best believe after this CBA, they need to jump it up to 45 at least. I could take 30 because at first I wasn't a fan of the 30%. I feel like it should be 40, 45 off the rip. But I feel like that just gives a little wiggle room for that next era of players for the following CBA after this one to go for 45. Because I think it should be 45. I think it should be 45%, and the NBA's cut from the WNBA revenue should shrink to 20%, 25%. And the only reason why I'm saying their cut should shrink to that is because I know Minnesota, those two teams share facilities. There's a couple of teams that have brother sister teams, and they do like NBA cares, WNBA cares, but why are they taking all that money from my ladies? And then see, that's the same. And then the players want a $10.5 million cap. The owners want a $5 million cap. My thing is they keep moving the goalposts, and the goalpost is reached this limit. And they're going to hold out because they want the players to be like, okay, you guys are right. Like, we'll give it just like we've done previous CBAs. And that's not happening now because at the end of the day, you can't play my ladies. All my ladies got degrees. They're educated. They know right is right from right and wrong from wrong. And this is completely wrong. This is completely wrong. And I feel like they're trying to lighten it up and be like, we're still sitting down trying to figure out. And my thing is I'm pissed because what is there to figure out? Flicks, tell me, what is there to figure out? Or am I tripping?
I think they're trying to call you a bluff.
Ain't nothing to figure out. Pay them. There is nothing to figure out. They done did everything they supposed to do. You have to pay them. And then you know what's worse, Flicks? You know what's the worst part about this? Even though these negotiations are still going on, meaning like we don't know if they're going to have a season, the WNBA had the audacity to release schedules. I muted them. I muted them because that's a slap in the face. And mind you guys, the very first deadline was October 31st of 2025. That was the first deal. And then it got extended to I forgot what date in November. And then the last deadline, the last straw was January 9th. So you tell me who the problem is here, because it's not the players. It's not the players, but you know what they need to do? They need to get Kathy, they need to get that whole group up out of there. They need a better organization that represents the players. Because of all the stuff that I was hearing before, like especially like hearing interviews of players like Natasha Klaus saying like she missed out on certain stuff because they felt like she wasn't a good image. And that's so disrespectful. And as an ally, as someone who played basketball and understand that there are so many different women that play basketball, you need someone that represents everybody. Okay? You need someone that represents the girls, the gays, the theys, you need someone that represents everybody, because this is BS. Kathy gotta go. That whole community gotta go. They need to put former players in there, coaches, people that have the players' best interests, because they're showing you where they stand, and Unrivaled is proving them wrong to show that the players that it's okay for players to want a piece of the pie, and everybody's getting paid, so there's no excuse. So them telling me, oh, they're sitting at the table figuring out, fuck that. Y'all was supposed to figure that out on October 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me
So
get off.
right now, well, it's really crunch time. So February is supposed to be like the crunch time, right? If the deal doesn't get struck within February, everything gets delayed. You know, expansion drafts gets delayed, free
Yeah.
agency, training camps won't open in March.
Or draft lottery.
Yeah. So essentially, if a deal doesn't happen in February, the season is literally in danger because there's probably no way they're going to be able to push it back or delay the season.
And they can, because I think this upcoming summer is the FIFA basketball, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to miss out. I believe it's FIFA, or no, it's not. It was last season. I'm
FIBA, it's
sorry.
not FIBA stuff.
It was last season, because
Okay.
remember, it was a couple of players that missed out last season because of EuroLeague, FIFA. Yeah, so I don't know. They just got to figure it out. But like I said, am I surprised? No. Did I call this? Yes. Did I want to call it? No, because I want a season. I want a season. So like it's just kind of putting everything on hold. And like I said before, we got to chill out on following the WNBA page right now. Like mute them for right now. You need to be following W the WNPA, the WNBA Players Association. That's who we need to be following. That's who we need to be engaging with, because they're giving us real life updates and they're educating us. Okay. But anyway, over that. And
I mean,
before this,
honestly, I see this as the perfect chance for Unrivaled to expand and to become
they're
like
already planning for it. They're
professional.
already planning for it.
Yeah, so I could see this kind of becoming something kind of like how we saw, which is interesting enough, kind of like NBA and the ABA. When you talk about like the
Mhm.
NBA during its first conception years, two leagues that are going against each other, same like in football, NFC and AFC. You got two different like leagues competing against each other, and if Unrivaled is a true competitor to the WNBA, you got to think they're gonna gain a lot of following from this, a lot of traction from this, because they actually have.
There's no competition. Where's the competition? At Unrivaled, the players are getting paid. They're getting equity. They're getting a piece of the pie. They're getting a piece of the pie, and other athletes are invested in it. Compared to the WNBA, who is trying to only give them 15% of the revenue they make. That's why you have never seen me with no WNBA gear. And if you have seen me with WNBA gear, it's from the Players Tribute. It's not directly from the WNBA shop. You will never catch me in an orange hoodie until they pay my ladies. And I stand on that. I stand on that. But before we wrap this show up, I got to get this off my chest, okay? I just want to give a shout out to Unrivaled for making a post and standing in solidarity with everything that happened in Minnesota and everything that's going on in this regime, okay? And I just want to make this perfectly clear. I stand with the players, and I stand with all the oppressed people across the globe. Okay, it's 2 words. Fuck ICE. That's how we're gonna start off. And second, they acting big and bad. If you acting big and bad, do what you got to do and show your face. Okay. And if you rock with that side, if you okay with these billionaires and these team owners doing my ladies like that, if you rock with any of that, this is not the space for you. And if any people watching this that associate with ICE, I hope you don't know a day of peace. I hope your identity gets revealed. And I hope you don't know what peace is. The only way you're going to know peace is if you're spelling PEACE. Okay? That's the only way you're going to know it. And I don't want to get too political on here, but make sure y'all standing on the right side of history. I'm not going to go too crazy, but that's all I have to say. And along with how about we, not fuck ICE, how about we abolish ICE and we abolish the other ICE? And if you don't know what the other ICE is, I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, we're going to wrap that up. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and do all that. And share this video. And so keep supporting our ladies of the W. And to the people, be safe out there. Don't let them bully y'all. And it's